All right, let's clear the air. Everyone thinks they know the best gas hacks for motorcycles. Stuff like always use premium fuel, fill your tank right to the top, buy gas early in the morning so you get more for your money. Sound familiar? Well, here's the truth. In 2025, most of those so-called pro tips are either outdated, misunderstood, or just plain wrong. And here's the scary part. Following bad fuel advice doesn't just waste your money. It can slowly damage your bike. So in this video, we're breaking down the most common motorcycle gas myths, how they quietly wreck your engine, and what you should actually be doing to keep your ride running smooth, without throwing away hundreds of dollars a year. Myth 1. Premium gas is always better. This one never dies. Riders everywhere swear that filling up with 91 or 93 octane fuel makes their bikes run cleaner, faster, and stronger. But here's the reality. Unless your motorcycle specifically requires premium fuel, it does absolutely nothing for you. The octane rating only measures a fuel's resistance to engine knocking. That's it. It doesn't magically clean your engine. It doesn't give you free horsepower. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki. Check the owner's manuals. They all say the same thing. If your bike is designed for 87 octane, that's what you should use. Period. In fact, running premium in a bike designed for regular can actually make things worse. In low-compression engines, higher octane fuel can burn less efficiently, which means weaker throttle response and wasted money. One Rebel 500 rider found this out the hard way. After switching to 91 octane, his throttle response dropped noticeably. It cost him about $120 extra per year before he realized the premium gas was actually making his bike perform worse. Myth 2. Topping off your gas tank is smart. Here's another bad habit. Some riders like to squeeze in a few extra cents worth of gas after the pump clicks off. Seems clever, right? Wrong. Motorcycle gas tanks are designed with space for vapor expansion. If you overfill, you can flood the vapor recovery system, ruin your gas mileage, and in some cases, cause serious damage. One Ducati owner learned this lesson the expensive way. Constantly topping off clogged his vapor canister, and replacing it cost him $380, all for trying to squeeze in those extra drops. Myth 3. Fuel additives equals better performance. You've seen them on the shelves. Little bottles promising cleaner engines, more horsepower, and better MPG. Sounds like easy power, right? Here's the truth. If your motorcycle is running fine, and you ride it regularly, you probably don't need them. Modern pump fuel already comes with detergents mixed in, unless your injectors are clogged or your bike has been sitting for months. Additives are usually just wasted money. Even a Suzuki mechanic admitted they rarely see fuel-related issues in bikes that are ridden consistently. So instead of dropping $10 on snake oil, spend it on something that actually matters, like chain lube or a decent tire pressure gauge. Myth 4. Ethanol fuel will ruin your motorcycle. This one gets repeated a lot. Never use ethanol gas. It'll destroy your bike. Now, is there some truth here? Yes, but let's clear it up. Most stations sell E10 fuel. That's 10% ethanol. Almost every modern motorcycle is designed to run on it without a problem. The real issue happens when ethanol fuel just sits. Ethanol attracts water. Leave it long enough, and you're looking at rust in your tank, clogged injectors, or gummed-up car jets. One rider in Florida parked his bike for 8 weeks with a half tank of gas. By the time he tried to start, the jets were gummed solid. Cost him a few $100 to fix. But if you're riding often and refilling regularly, you'll be fine. And if your bike is going to sit for weeks or months, just add a stabilizer and you won't have to stress. Bottom line, don't obsess over finding ethanol-free gas unless your manual specifically requires it, or your bike is going into storage. Myth 5. A full tank equals better gas mileage. Some riders swear their bike runs smoother and gets better MPG with a full tank. Hate to break it to you, but this one's in your head. Gas is heavy. A full tank means extra weight. Extra weight means your engine works harder, not less. On smaller bikes especially, the sloshing fuel up high can even throw off your balance at low speeds. Some riders actually report their bikes feel more nimble and even slightly more fuel efficient, when a tank is half full. So, if you're filling to the brim thinking you're saving gas, you're really just hauling around extra weight for no reason. Myth 6. Ignoring fuel filters is no big deal. Here's one most riders don't even think about. Fuel filters are out of sight, out of mind, until they're clogged. But a neglected fuel filter can choke your bike's performance, cause rough idling, or even damage your fuel pump. Replacing one is cheap, usually under $25. But ignoring it long enough, that can lead to a pump replacement, which could easily run you $300 plus depending on your bike. Moral of the story: check your service manual, know when your filter should be replaced, and don't skip it. It's one of the cheapest pieces of maintenance that saves you from way bigger bills down the road. Here's a maintenance habit that a lot of riders skip: checking the fuel filter. Dirty fuel, rust from old tanks, and tiny bits of debris can clog it up. And when that happens, your bike starts running rough, losing power or stalling. One V-Strom 650 riders spent hundreds chasing down a throttle problem, swapping sensors, cleaning injectors, adjusting idle. In the end, it was just a $15 clogged fuel filter. Moral of the story: check your fuel filter once in a while. It's cheap insurance against expensive headaches. Myth 7. All gas is the same, just by the cheapest. Nope, not true. While octane rating might be the same, what really matters are the additives in the fuel. Top-tier brands like Shell and Chevron use stronger detergents that help keep your system clean. AAA even ran a study showing these fuels dramatically reduce carbon buildup compared to discount station gas. So yeah, that cheaper fuel might save you $1 at the pump today, but it could cost you hundreds later in injector cleanings or carbon removal. Myth 8. You always need full choke on a cold start. This is one of those old-school habits riders pass down like gospel. Cold start, full choke. That might have been true in the 80s and 90s, but not today. If you ride a modern fuel-injected bike, you don't need choke at all. Zero. And if you got a car bike, you only need a little choke to get a stable idle. Leave it on too long and you're just wasting gas, flooding the engine and adding extra wear. The smart move: use just enough choke to get your idle steady, then turn it off. Your fuel system and your wallet will thank you. Myth 9. Run your tank dry to get your money's worth. Some riders believe squeezing out every last drop of gas stretches their dollar. In reality, it's one of the fastest ways to kill your fuel pump. Modern motorcycle pumps are cooled and lubricated by the fuel itself. Run too low, and the pump gets exposed to heat and air. Do it often enough, and you'll overheat it, wear it out early, and end up with a big repair bill. One CBR 600R rider thought he was being smart by riding on fumes all the time. Instead, he ended up replacing a burned-out pump, a repair that cost way more than the gas he saved. Bottom line: don't run your tank dry. Fill up before it gets dangerously low, and you'll keep your pump alive for years longer. Running on fumes saves money. One CBR 600R rider found this out the hard way. He kept running his tank nearly dry, thinking he was squeezing out every dollar. At just 28,000 miles, his fuel pump died early. The mechanic flat out told him it was from running the tank too low too often. The bill? $320. The smart move: refuel when you hit about a quarter tank. It protects your pump, saves money long term, and keeps you from being stranded somewhere you don't want to be. Myth 10. You get more gas if you fill up in the morning. You probably heard this one. Gas is cooler and denser in the morning, so you get more for your money. Here's the truth. Decades ago, maybe, but now, totally outdated. Modern stations store fuel in underground tanks, where temperatures barely change between morning and afternoon. Whether you're filling at 7 a.m. or 4 p.m., the difference is basically nothing. We're talking maybe a teaspoon in a full tank. Unless you're buying thousands of gallons at once, time of day doesn't matter. Fill up when you need gas, not when clock says so. Myth 11. Bad gas is easy to smell. A lot of riders trust their nose. If it doesn't smell weird, it must be good, right? Wrong. Slightly aged gas can smell totally normal while quietly going bad. Ethanol blends, especially, start separating after just a few weeks. One rider left his bike sitting for a month. He sniffed the tank, thought it was fine, tried a ride, and the bike wouldn't start. The ethanol had separated, clogged his injectors, and he wound up paying $180 to get the fuel system cleaned out. Pro tip: if your gas is more than a month old, either replace it or add a fuel stabilizer before storage. Don't trust your nose. Myth 12: higher octane gas cleans your engine better. This one's super common. Premium gas keeps your engine cleaner. But here's the truth. Octane has nothing to do with cleanliness. All Octane measures is resistance to knocking. What really matters are the detergents and cleaning additives inside the fuel. In fact, some top-tier 87 octane fuels clean way better than cheap 91 or 93. One Yamaha FZ07 rider learned this firsthand. He switched from no-name 91 to Chevron's regular 87, and the difference was instant. Smoother idle, better throttle response, even a small bump in MPG. So, don't assume higher octane means cleaner. Quality brand fuel beats octane number every time. Not because of the octane, but because of the additives in the gas. So don't assume higher price means better protection. Always look for top-tier certified stations. That's where you'll find the cleaning agents your engine actually needs. Myth 13: manufacturer MPG ratings are accurate for everyone. Let's be real. Nobody actually gets the exact fuel mileage that shows up in their bike's brochure. And if you do, you either live in some windless paradise with perfect roads, or you're not telling the whole story. Real-world MPG swings all over the place depending on how you ride, your tire pressure, chain tension, the weight you're carrying, and the kind of road you're on. Take the Honda NC750X, for example. One rider reported an insane 88 MPG by babying the throttle, keeping his tires topped up, and using engine braking instead of the brakes whenever possible. Meanwhile, another guy with the same exact bike was only getting 62 MPG because he hammered it through city traffic and ignored his tire pressure for weeks. The takeaway? Your habits decide your fuel economy, not just a bike. Want to save $300 to $400 a year on gas? Ride smoother. Check your tire pressure once a week. Keep your chain clean and lubed. And maybe stop treating every red light like you're lining up at MotoGP. The bottom line: how these myths drain your wallet. When you put all together, these outdated gas myths could be draining over $800 a year out of your pocket. For what? Paying extra for premium you don't need. Wasting money on fuel additives. Burning out fuel pumps early. Paying to fix clogged injectors. Throwing away MPG because of sloppy habits. And the worst part? Every single one of these mistakes is 100% avoidable. So if you picked up something new from this video, and let's be honest, at least one of these myths probably got you, do me a favor. Hit that like button so more riders can avoid the same money pits. Drop a comment below and tell me which myth you use to believe, or got burned by. No judgment. We've all done it. And don't forget to subscribe, because I've got plenty more no BS, money-saving, engine-saving motorcycle tips coming your way.